Part 2.
Let's jump ahead a scant 18 years to 1982, wherein our wonderful guest Sarah is going to talk about Dario Argento's Tenebrae or Tenebrae, which I think translates in Italian to like darkness or something, right?
Yep. Yes, I believe it. Yeah, that's what it translates to.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it. Let's jump into some bitch.
I absolutely love this film, so I'm very excited to talk about it. Peter Neal. He's an American writer of violent horror novels. They're very famous, very popular in Europe, and he is there to promote his latest work called Tenebrae. Hence the movie title. And I really like the beginning of this movie because it does something really interesting. It really when I first saw this movie, it really caught my attention. It's in the beginning of the movie, it is like a narration. I think in the original one, in like the European release, it was Dario Argento narrating it, but in the dubbed one, they had someone over dub it. And it's, him reading pages off the book and then crumpling them up and throwing into the fire as the credits roll. Not the credits, the opening, credits roll. And I just really like that opening. It kind of reminds me, well, obviously it's very different from the opening of Blood and Black Lace, but it's a very like eye-catching. It gets your attention.
It's very stylized. In a different way. Yeah. It reminded me. And I don't know, Sarah, if you're familiar with this, but Steve will immediately know what I'm talking about. It reminds me of the intro of Jack Frost.
Yes.
When he's like, when they're going to, he's doing exactly like the little narration, the voiceover, and he's like telling the story to the little girl, and he's going through like and all the stuff's written on the Christmas tree. So I don't know why. Maybe because it's like, it just does. It's almost a non sequitur to the rest of the movie. It's not, because it's. You come to realize, the killer and, the tie to the book and all that stuff. But it just feels like it's happening from the point of view of a narrator that doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the movie, even though we come to learn he does. But in this moment, it just reminded me of Jack Frost, which is the dumbest thing in the world to say out loud. Like, that doesn't make any sense when I say it that way.
But I love it. I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe because Jack Frost came after this movie, so maybe they just literally decided to rip off Tenebrae. Who knows?
And Jack Frost is an American Giallo.
Yeah, you don't know who the snowman is.
You don't know except for you definitely do. You watch him melt and then turn back into a snowman.
Right.
Anyway, enough about Jack Frost. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, so he goes over to Europe to promote his latest book, Tenebrae. And then he is accompanied by his adoring assistant and his agent, who is played by John Saxon.
Oh, love me some John Saxon.
Kind of a big name. He was the dad in Nightmare on Elm Street. He was in many Westerns, a bunch of iconic movies. He's been in a bunch of other horror. He's been in a few other, I might be incorrect about this, but he's been in a few other borderline Giallo films. I know he's been in a couple other European horror films.
Yeah, I definitely know he's been in other Italian horror. I'm trying to think what else he's been in. But
he was also in Black Christmas, which we just did on Showdown last month.
Of course. Jeez, we just talked. I knew we just talked about him.
I always think of him as as Nancy's dad.
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Street, and then of course.
Yeah, I think that's his most famous role.
And then he's a lot of people do know him from a lot of Westerns. He was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He was big daytime in Western TV show and movie guy.
Before we get much further, can I call out the absolute psychotic move of riding your bicycle down a 4-lane highway and then also riding your bike to the airport and then having someone drive your luggage there and meet you? This guy's out of his goddamn mind.
Also, I in my notes, I literally specifically just made a note of the blinding blue jumpsuit because it gave me a migraine.
Yeah. Well, and this has that very, it's not as dramatic by any stretch of the imagination as Blood and Black Lace, but it still has that super over dramatic, oversaturated color. Like even in the scene, which we'll get to in a second, but when he's getting interviewed by the woman who's mad at him because his book's sexist, and she's like the literary, I don't know if she's a critic or she's just like an interviewer or whatever. Even in that scene, I remember thinking like the wall is giving me a headache. Like it's just like oversaturated, just a red brick.
Yeah.
No, like it's a little overwhelming. I don't like. But like I like it. It's done in a good way. Like I enjoy it. But anyway, so he's accompanied by his literary agent and his assistant Anne. And then there's like this whole like weird exchange at the airport. And I believe that's when for first time viewers, we don't know who it is. But it's supposed to be his ex-wife, Jane. Yeah, it's supposed to be his ex-wife, Jane, and she's the one who messes up his luggage, I believe. Or at least, like, trades it out.
Yeah, it seems like she has, like, a little double agent for her or something. Like, because she has somebody else, like, scope him out while she's hiding in a phone booth. And he engages in some real pre-9/11 behavior of leaving his luggage unattended. Like, you're not supposed to do that anymore. They ask you, did you leave your bag unwatched?
He's like, yeah, naturally.
The first time I saw this movie, I don't remember when this was, but I mean, it was obviously after 9/11. But when I first saw this movie, the shot of the ex-wife, like when she walks up to the big window and you can see the reflection of the window in her glasses. For some reason I was like, oh my god, did she like put explosives in the bag and are you just gonna see the plane blow up in her reflection of the glasses? I'm like, Sarah, why the fuck would I don't know why I was like
not only is
were way too high.
Well, you know what that is? That's not only just 9/11. That's also just Final Destination.
I know.
Yeah.
That's just because there's a whole thing from them watching the plane blow up in Final Destination. Yeah. But no, instead they have a smoke indoors in an airport.
Final Destination. I have it on VHS. I see it right over there. Oh man, I just had to share that. So they get into Rome. That whole thing happens. They get into Rome. And it cuts to a whole new character. So we just met these people. We don't really know them. Although we know that he's a writer. And then, boom, new character. And she's a young shoplifter. And she's like, and she goes into like the store. And, well, she sees the book. And she steals it. Or like at least attempts to. And then, like, I think like, I don't know if it's like the boss of the store sees her.
Mr. Loss Prevention himself comes over and is like, let me accost you. Like, the whole thing is just so wildly dated that, like, number one, now, if you were to steal something, they would let you walk out the door because they don't want to get sued. Meanwhile, he, like, grabs her and accosts her before he even has any proof.
Oh, he straight up, like pulls her. Like, he's
real overzealous about the whole thing. But then she's like, they go on to say, like, I don't want to dwell on the shoplifting, but this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It's so stupid because then she's like, you're a 12-time shop. Like he had in this moment that he brought her in. He did a whole background check on her and he's like, you're a 12-time convicted shoplifter. So like, she's obviously bad at it or she's so prolific that she shoplifts all day, every day, and has only got caught 12 times. You're not really sure. But then she gets out of it by just calling him gay. She's like, what are you, gay? And he's like, no. All right.
And then she's like, well, what if I give you my address? Insinuating, well, I'll let you fuck me.
Yeah. Just come over to my house and bang.
You know, as one does.
And he's like, his whole demeanor changes immediately. It goes from like I got you right where I want. And he's like, all right, what's that address, babe? Like, it's just so just on a dime. It's the most bizarre scene.
It's just,
yeah. It does. It's like you expect a guy that's going to come in and be like, anybody order a large sausage pizza? Like
pizza? Yeah, no, literally. That is the vibe. Like,
oh, so funny.
I mean,
just wait. I caught you shoplifting. What are you, gay? No. All right, bye. Like, that's the scene.
It's so funny. But yeah, so after that happens, like she ends up taking the book too after that interaction. So she ends up taking what she steals anyways. But when she gets home, after she's like chased by a homeless man or some shit, but that's like irrelevant.
I was gonna say, I think the crazed pervert on her way home is important because it just sets up like this whole world is dangerous. Like it's full.
That's true.
Like it's just everybody is a crazed pervert and is dangerous, and like women are not safe at any point.
No,
also,
same thing in my movie. Literally every man is out to like assault you, murder you, do something awful. But then like she just kind of just comes with the front and just blast kicks his ass.
Yeah.
I
love a good front kick.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely get what you guys are saying. I kind of just brushed it off, and not like brushed it off, but like I didn't think too deep into it because I'm like, you know, that could very well happen.
Well, and you're right. I mean, they do treat it. You're right. They do treat it as essentially inconsequential because like, she just goes inside and then he like startles her again or whatever, but then. You know, spoiler alert, she gets murdered by a different person 5 seconds later. So,
but yeah, I do definitely get what you're saying. And then after that kill, so that's the first kill. So new character, and she's gone. Mm-hmm. And the murderer then sends Neil a letter informing him about the books and that they have inspired him to go on a killing spree. Obviously, being a responsible citizen, Neil contacts the police because that is what one should do. And now, all the way up until these scenes, music is just straight funky. Love the music in this movie.
It's sick. It's sick. I love the movie.
It's just funky.
I love the music.
I love it. Mm-hmm. It just my ears like it. It's a whole lot of funk.
It's slap and some bitches slapping basses.
Oh yeah. It's great. I like it. And one thing I did forget to mention is I really like the use of the POV shots. I noticed it early on. I don't remember if I made notes every time it happened. I'll have to look, but I just seen it early on and I'm like, I always like a good POV shot.
Yeah, I don't know if this because it's something we talked about how it happens in Black Christmas that you have like the POV shot with the heavy breathing of the killer, and it definitely happens in this film. I don't know if I noticed it in Torso though. I don't know if there's like there's a
he's
POV
always
shot.
Lurking. Yeah, he's mostly lurking, kind of in the periphery, but I think it's all kind of third person.
Yeah. There is a POV shot because it's important to the story that it be POV at that time.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah.
But it's not it's not accompanied by the creepy heavy breathing of a pervert, so.
No. Classic pervert breathing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Classic pervert heavy breathing. Gotta love it.
Perverts love the mouth breathe. It's their favorite thing.
Yeah. I thought you were just gonna Well, when you say it like that, it makes it weird. But so Neil contacts the police, obviously, and we get introduced to these police, and I think they're absolutely funny. When the guy police comes in, he the lady Anne, she offers him water. Or no, she offers him scotch, but she says something like, I'd offer you scotch, but you're currently on the clock or on the job. And he's like, I only drink on the clock. Oh, I only drink on duty. And that was so funny. I'm like, honestly,
the most Italian cop thing to do is like, what do you do?
Right?
What do you do for work? Oh, I smoke and I drink. What's your job? I'm a police officer.
I'm a fucking FBI agent.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There is almost never a time in a 70s Italian movie where someone on screen is not smoking or drinking or both.
Drinking.
Right.
Oh yeah. Or like simultaneously, like it's so funny. But I like literally I quoted that in my notes. I just thought that line was very funny. And it solidified that character as being a favorite of mine.
And he also like doesn't look like a cop. He looks like he looks like a soap opera like love interest type. Like he just doesn't like, honestly, the main character, the guy who plays the author, I already forgot his name. He looks more like a cop than
Peter
that
Neal.
guy.
Yeah.
And also like, I'm sorry, I'm belaboring this because it's such a silly scene, but she hands him the scotch in the silliest glass. Do you guys remember this? It's like a shot glass, but if a little baby was holding a shot glass. So it's like a super tall, skinny head, like the bottom is this tall. It's just the silliest glass. I was like,
so weird.
Do Italians drink scotch out of glasses like that?
Maybe they do.
Strange. It's like a fucking test tube. Like, what are you drinking scotch of?
Well, like, it's called scotch. It's not called Italio.
I guess. I don't know.
They don't know what to do with it.
I don't know.
Maybe they just don't understand it.
The glass is 2/3 solid glass and looks like it weighs 8 pounds. Like, it's just such a silly glass. I'm sorry. I'm really belaboring this point.
But yes, they contact them and then they like let them know what's going on. So yes, more killings. Yay! How exciting. Journalist, the beautiful. This was my note. I thought she was really pretty. I was drinking when I saw this movie when I rewatched it. Pretty gay journalist. That is what I wrote. Is murdered at her home along with her lover by the unseen killer. Of course, with the classic straight razor blade. It's just then again, neon red blood. It always gets me.
Oh yeah, it's always such a shock to the system when you see it.
Yeah.
Right? It's once I get used to it, it's just fun. It goes good with the color, like the color palette of the movie.
It adds to the whole like dream-like thing.
Right? Like seeing that in any other movie, like or a color palette would be weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like a good Giallo movie has an element of dream-like. Like a dreamlike quality where you're like, none of this stuff's happening. This is all cartoon. You know what I mean? And I feel like the red blood really contributes to that.
Yeah. And the other thing it does is like it kind of like Blood and Black Lace. There is, you know, all the reds in that film. But in this film, it serves as a connection because you have this solid opaque, you know, paint like blood, but it ties to the red shoes, which is like a big motif of this film as well. So yeah, it's a good visual connection. Also, just one thing, I had a line from this scene where they're kind of arguing on the stairs, the two women, and the interviewer, she's like, "You make me sick," and then her lover responds with just a very funny way of rolling her R's, and she just goes, "You make me want to throw up."
She does. Yeah. I forgot about that. She turns into a fucking Muppet for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. I must have I don't remember that. That's so funny. I'll have to go back and I don't know how I didn't make a note of that. But yeah, so she gets killed, and then Maria, the teenage daughter of Neil's landlord, Now this is a whole thing. I believe it's like she's like on this bike with some guy and they like have like an argument and then he like fucking kicks her off the bike. And then she sees like this Doberman, starts barking at her, and then she antagonizes it. Yeah, she like eggs on the Doberman.
And then it like chases. There's a full-on chase scene for like, I feel like a long time.
And it attacks her. It attacks her. Yeah, it's a long.
It's not just like a dog jump scare. It's not like a Resident Evil style dog jump scare. It's like that dog's being weird. And now that dog's after me. And now we have like a Peter Griffin in the chicken situation, but with the dog.
Right? Like that dog is out for blood. Yeah. Like it wants you dead. Yeah, no, that dog was scary. And she climbs over a fence and she's in the killer's backyard, and so she is able to open the door and escape from the dog, and she goes down into the basement. And it's really funny because you can see the dog out the window, and he's like doing fucking like backflips and shit.
Yeah. This dog's got fucking whacked out poo brains.
I know. Like this dog is coked out. Like what is happening? It's insane.
I had a note that just says the dog acts better than Maria, and I feel like I was kind of annoyed with Maria, just the way like every 5 seconds she's like spinning in a circle and like putting her hands up to her face, and like she doesn't know what to do with her hands, and it just looks silly. So like her decisions look silly, but it is trying to add to like the danger of the scene. But like the dog hits all of its cues. Like they have the one shot of the dog, like it runs up to the fence, realizes it can't get over, so it takes a couple steps back and then does a full clear jump. And I was like, damn, that dog can act. That's a good dog. That's a good dog.
I was like, that's
good dog acting.
Yeah, that's good dog acting.
And then, boy.
Yeah, and then it's like you're saying, it's doing all that goofy shit outside the window. Like it's, rubbing up against the window and then running away from the window and runing back. And it's like,
well, that's what I was saying. Is like, what did they do? They gave that dog like, I don't know, like the dog equivalent of catnip. Like that dog's losing its fucking mind.
No, literally.
They maybe just gave it a little bit of Coke.
Just a little bit of good Italian. That Italian good.
They definitely had Coke on that set. So
yeah. There was like a $250,000 Coke budget in this movie, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely got into some. Maybe they just didn't know about it. Oh my goodness!
It happens on sets, It
happens, Bada bing, bada boom. Dog gets into the Coke bag. It happens.
Hey, sometimes the dog gets into the fucking Coke. What do you want me to do about it?
Hey, what are you looking at me? I don't know. I didn't give it a dog a Coke.
I didn't give it a dog a Coke.
It's so funny. But yeah, so she goes down there and she realizes she kind of realizes what's fucking going on, and she starts like collecting evidence and starts like shoving it in her pockets, and she tries to escape, and she gets outside, and like they have a whole chase, and she unfortunately ends up getting axed. It's a long chase. I'm surprised that out of all the people, she got to have a struggle.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible. I know that sounds really mean.
Yeah.
But like,
the whole construction of the scene is interesting, and like it lends to that idea of like what Brian was saying about these films being dreamlike, because it's so crazy that it's just all based on coincidence that she is Peter Neal's a landlord's daughter or whatever. So she has a direct connection to Peter Neal, and then she just gets left. She gets left in the middle of Rome by this angry dog, and this dog happens to chase her into the killer's backyard, and she happens to find all this evidence, and she happens to almost get away, except for the killer sees her and then kills her. And it's just like, it's it's funny that it's all based on coincidence that you wouldn't believe in real life. So it does feel dreamlike in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So after that, Neil is talking with the TV interviewer. His name is Cristiano Berti. We're gonna just call him Cristiano. We're gonna do that. So I'm gonna get confused with names. And he has a very, very strong interest in him. About his work, about his personal life. Like he loves this guy. And they talk for a little bit, and then some other stuff. It's like some other like scenes have like, that's like the most important thing. And then like, I just have the next note is just, then Neil and his second assistant, Gianni. I thought that was his son for the longest time.
Well, because he doesn't seem old enough to be an assistant. He looks like he's 12.
He looks 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just introduced this kid, and they're like,
was his son. I thought Anne was his wife and Gianni was his son. And I'm like, wait, so they're assistants? That's weird.
Yeah, and he I would say he looks like him, but he has a similar like bone structure to his face too.
I could see him being his son.
Yeah. He could conceivably play his son, and also he looks 12 and not old enough to be a professional.
No.
And it's also he's wearing he's dressed as one of the younger Osmond brothers. Like he's wearing this weird checkered sweater. Yeah. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre outfit he's wearing.
Like what? Yeah, but it took me a while to figure out that they're not a family.
Yeah, you remember when the Osmonds had that one Italian foreign exchange student? It was like Donatello Osmond or whatever. You remember
that? There's also a scene which leads to this, just to look at the framing of the scene and the way everything is set up. It looks like a family type thing because they're all doing the Scooby-Doo gang kind of mapping, and they're all crammed in next to each other.
Yeah. So it's like they're playing it's like they're playing Pop-O-Matic Trouble on the carpet.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like they're doing a puzzle together. They're and they're all just smiling and happy about themselves. Mm-hmm. But they look like a family while they're doing their Scooby-Doo gang shit. So that's why it's it's confusing. Yeah. And again, Italian films don't feel the need to explain anything ever.
No. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, so they decide to go over to Cristiano's house because they believe he's been acting suspicious, and also because he has a intense interest in Peter. So obviously he's going to be suspicious for the murders.
He's a good red herring at this point. And he's also so overzealous in the interview that you're like, something's up with this motherfucker. Yeah. He's acting sus.
He's a little weird. He's a little weirdo. Yeah. So, I mean, he's just weird. And Neil decides to separate from Gianni in order to get a better view. Because Peter kind of steals, I accidentally said Peter Steele. We're not talking about Typo Negative.
Listen, we've talked about Peter Steele.
Oh, I have.
We've talked about him on the show before. I feel like we've referenced Black Number One a couple times.
I love me some Peter Steele. Yeah. So Peter stays back in the bushes, and Gianni goes up to the window, and he sees Cristiano get fucking axed. I love this kill. I love this kill.
This is the best kill in the movie by far.
It just fucking happens.
Well, it's brutal too, and it's so anti-Giallo in that the rest of this movie, no music in building. There's no music. It's not super stylized. It's very just blunt and brutal.
It just fucking happens.
He doesn't just, normally we've established in Giallo movies, where you touch somebody's throat with a razor blade and it's like they've been shot in the brain. They immediately die. He gets axed in the fucking head with a weird old style Italian axe that's like very weird and small and thin. And he gets it right in his goddamn forehead. And then he like stumbles around with an axe in his forehead. It's like, it's uncharacteristically brutal compared to a lot of the other kills that you see in this movie. Yeah, it's a great scene.
And then Gianni is just there, absolutely horrified, obviously.
He's aghast. A young boy with a checkered sweater like that, he doesn't deserve to see somebody get axed in the head.
No, he is going to be traumatized.
He's a delicate young man. Yeah.
He's a delicate little boy.
There's no way he shaves. Like there's just no way. No, there's no way.
He's a baby seal. Like, so he's unable to see the murderer's face.
He's a baby seal. Sorry, that cracked me up.
Yeah. He's unable to see the murderer's face.
Mm-hmm.
After that whole debacle, Gianni finds Neil unconscious on the lawn. Yeah, he got knocked out with a big old rock. And then the whole movie, rocked. He has a little he got his shit racked. He has a little bandage on his head because he got popped.
And this is actually like a really this scene of like the chaos that is ensuing in this scene. Because a second ago they were just like, we're gonna creep up because like this guy, he's creepy, right? So we're gonna creep up and we're gonna peep on him a little bit, and then just like kind of hell breaks loose.
We're gonna be creepy.
Yeah, and then just like hell breaks loose, axe in the head, somebody gets smacked with a rock, and then it's just like Gianni's grabbing freaking what's his name, the author guy, and like dragging him out of it like it's fucking Saving Private Ryan. You know, it's just like it's a chaotic scene, and then they like jump in the car and blast off. It's like a whole, it's a whole chaotic thing.
Well, somebody also throws.
It's a really good, I like it.
Yeah. Like after Cristiano gets the axe in the head, the killer also throws something through the window at Gianni to scare him.
That's what you're saying. Yes. It's like is it a brick or something? It's like a fireplace brick or some shit. I don't remember, but
it looks like a little black. It looks like a black obelisk. So it's either like a piece of modern art or like a shitty trophy.
Oh yeah, it might have been a piece of art or something. Because he's got this like super swanky, like modernist kind of house.
It's like a modern. It's like a 70s modern home type shit.
Yeah,
it's all glass. The whole like side of the house is like glass. It's one of those houses that only people who desperately want to get murdered would build.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like
literally.
you can't build a house like that if you're not trying to get murdered.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel safe in that house. I really wouldn't.
No.
Yeah, no. So the next day, the FBI and all the cops and stuff, they're investigating the crime scene. And obviously reveals that Cristiano was unhealthily obsessed with Peter's novels. It has like a bunch of documents revealing that not only was he interested in his work life, his personal life, and all of that fun stuff. Oh yeah, and now that he's dead, it is believed that the killings will cease. But however, Bulmer, who is John Saxon, so I'm just gonna call him John Saxon.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I just call characters by the actors' names.
As John Saxon. So, John Saxon, however, he's having an affair with Jane, ex-wife. This scene. Okay. Pause. This scene's a little weird. This scene's overwhelming. A lot of stuff happens.
Is the one where she's like, let's pretend we don't remember this in the morning or some bullshit. Is that what you're talking about?
It's the one where, so John Saxon, it's outside. It's like in the public square, and there's like a woman. There's like a child. I'm having a stroke. There's a child playing ball, and John Saxon is like, he like has a little like moment with the child, and then there's like a shot of like a woman crying, and like her boyfriend's like breaking up with her, and then he's like, he stands up, and then someone like comes by him, and he gets stabbed, and then
oh, I think I remember. So this is a little bit, yeah. This is a little bit further. This is after like, this is after the girl. I don't remember what her fucking name is. I don't remember everybody's name, but the girl who is like, I don't know, having the romantic interlude with 4 dudes in white on the beach earlier in the movie. You know what I'm talking about? Who the hell is she? I forget.
Oh, I thought that was a little bit later on.
Well, no, that happens earlier, but then she gets killed.
But it gets explained later on, right?
Yeah, it gets explained. The woman on the beach. The woman on the beach is nobody that we see. The woman on the beach is somebody who exists in a dream, and she's not. I think you're conflating her with somebody in this scene. What you're thinking of, Brian, is Jane. It gets revealed that Jane and John Saxon are having an affair together. And then John Saxon is just out in the world. Jane gets a present of red shoes, which is what we see with the woman on the beach. She was also wearing red shoes, but that's 2 different people.
You're right. But I guess what I'm saying is the scene with John Saxon where he's out on like the square and he's out in public with his little, he's walking around doing his business or whatever. And there's like people around riding bikes and shit. That happened in the red ball, right? There's a red ball. He catches a red ball. And that's the whole thing. Cause I remember because they had just shown that woman who I'm not even pretending to know who the fuck she is, but that woman earlier who like sticks her red shoe heel in the guy's throat after he slaps her and all that. You don't see her again. And you're like, well, what the fuck was that? And then right before this scene that Sarah was talking about with the kid in the red ball, you see her get stabbed. That same the beach woman gets stabbed in the gut.
See her get stabbed a little bit later. I think the reason why I didn't mention it was because I had forgotten about this little subplot, and I was very confused.
And like I'll be honest with you, I don't really fully understand it. Maybe I didn't pay close enough attention.
Didn't make the note. And I didn't make the note about the lady with the red shoes until I had figured out, because it was explained to me later on in the movie. Mm-hmm. So my note about it is when the second time she appears and it gets explained. It's a little bit lower in my notes. So that's why I did not mention it.
No, that's fine.
So the woman from the beach, she gets stabbed in the gut, but that happens way before this scene with John Saxon by himself. That happens even before Jane gets the red shoes. That's just kind of a separate, because what they are is they're dream remembrances from Peter. Peter is dreaming about this woman because it's the first woman he killed. The woman on the beach and the woman. So like when we first see her on the beach, he's having a weird wet foot fantasy that is his thing. Because like he gets rejected by this woman who is surrounded by all these guys. So it's like you have to interpret it as a dream, but it's a woman who gave herself to like all these other men, but didn't give herself to him. And so he has like this incel foot fantasy of her, just crushing him beneath her feet. The second time we see her, when she gets stabbed in the gut, which it looks like they're at like, I don't know, some sort of water park, or they're at some sort of country club or something. Mm-hmm. She's talking to another
or something there. Yeah.
Yeah. She's talking to another man. And like, after that man runs off, you're in the POV in the bushes. And we would later figure out like, this is Peter in the bushes right before he kills her. So like, this is less of a dream and more of him remembering what he did.
Oh, and then this is right before Peter, the scene in this town square plaza area where he gets stabbed.
Yeah, this is before. Mm-hmm. This is before Jane gets the gift of the red shoes, and then Jane gets the gift of the red shoes, and when we go to the town square with John Saxon, and
John Saxon, not Peter. Yeah. I keep saying Peter is John. John Saxon's not Peter.
Yeah.
But I mean, technically.
I have to just say the characters.
Yeah, technically Peter's in the scene as well, because we find out that he's the killer, but we just never see him in the town square scene.
Right.
But this scene is incredibly chaotic, because like you have this bouncing ball all over the place. You have this woman like breaking up with her husband. You have just like general foot traffic. And then also you're getting intercut with the POV again, but you don't know, is this John Saxon's POV or is this the killer? So it's a crazy kooky scene. I love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So it's a very overstimulating scene, but it's done well. Like, I like it. There's a lot of different, like, you can rewatch it and focus on different things. And it's a very dynamic scene, which I like. And it's one of those scenes that it must have been like, I feel like it must have been kind of difficult to shoot because there's so many things happening at once.
There's so many moving parts.
Yeah, I always like those scenes. I think those are always very fun. And I always appreciate those because they can be difficult to do.
Yeah, you can tell it's definitely just like a big set piece because, I mean, they gave it to John Saxon, who's the big name of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So like,
exactly.
You build your biggest scene around like your biggest star. But also just of note, like the scene ends with the red shoes approaching John Saxon's body, but you only see the shoes. So now it kind of casts the red herring now onto Jane, because you assume it, like maybe she's the one who killed him in that instant.
Yeah. So that evening, Gianni, who is the younger assistant of Peter, is haunted by the thought that he had seen but did not recognize the murderer's face, because, you know, if he had seen it, then they could have caught him. So like he just feels really dumb that he could have solved the murder. And he returns to the house to see if he could try and maybe jog up a memory. And he suddenly remembers what was so important. He had heard Cristiano confessing to his unseen attacker, I killed them all. Before Gianni can share this important detail with anyone, he is attacked from the backseat of his car and strangled to death by an unseen assailant.
Come on, guy. Don't leave all your windows down. You go to a dang old murder house and you leave all your windows down. Come on. And he left the keys in the ignition.
He quite literally was asking to be killed.
Come on, bud. Gianni, listen, guys, I don't say this lightly. You were asking for it, Gianni. You were asking for it. You're trying to get killed.
He's a young kid. He'll need no better.
You goddamn little beautiful twink, you. You're getting killed. You made yourself get killed.
He didn't know no better. He's young.
Stupid fucking sweater.
Thought he was invincible.
You little sweater wearing. You beautiful checkered sweater wearing little twink, you.
You really like Gianni, don't you?
Hey, he's a handsome young man.
I get it. He's yeah. This is I got very excited. I love this next scene. So this is like one of the like best scenes in this movie. There's a lot of scenes that I really like, but then we cut to Jane. Okay, so she's sitting at her kitchen table when a figure with an axe leaps through her window, hacking off one of her arms.
Oh yeah, you don't see this coming.
Oh no, not at all. Like it's one of those ones that's like, it's so sudden, but then it's preceded by just the funkiest tunes. it's like so sudden, and then just funk, and then blood, and I love it, and just screams of terror, funky music, and a shit ton of blood, and it's awesome. I fucking love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
She spews so much blood. And I love that the walls are all white, so you just get every drop of blood. You see all of it, and I absolutely adore that. And she gives it her all. She falls to the floor. He hacks her up some more until she's dead. It just says more about the neon red Giallo blood, because it's just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really liked the contrast with the bright white walls and with that lighting, and then just the bright blood. It just was very like, it was a lot on the eyes, but it was good. It was just a lot.
And I'm a sucker for and I'm not even like a super over the top gore or like love creative kills. Like, hey, I can appreciate all that, but that's not necessarily what I'm coming to the party for. But something about that little weird shaped axe just is off-putting to me. I don't know why. It's just like, if a murderer, a goddamn axe murderer, was going to kill somebody, you wouldn't get this like diminutive little axe. You know what I mean? And just, you would think you would have like a big fucking fireman's axe or something. And something about this little, like I said, diminutive little, like, you imagine you're going to use it to like,
point on it.
cut kindling or something like that. Something about that just makes it more realistic and brutal to me.
Was it like common back in that day to have an indoor axe for your fireplace?
I mean, I do. Like, I have a wood burning stove, but like, I got an indoor little axe that I cut up kindling with for the fireplace.
I don't have an indoor axe, but I do have a buck 120.
Yeah, you could cut kindling up with that. You could take an arm off with that.
That's just for collecting. I don't use it.
Collecting
unless
corpses.
I need to. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that whole scene is just awesome. I love it. The first time I saw it, it stuck with me, and it still is great. And I think the effects really do look good, and they still look good today. That scene holds up. In all the ways, I really think, like, from the arm getting hacked off, I think that looks fantastic. I think it looks good.
Yeah. They even have like a cutaway to the arm by itself, and it just like it tips over, and just like it doesn't necessarily move, but just the way it tips over with the gun and it drops the gun, it's just like, oh, it's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the little detail.
Like the rain too, just like it makes everything sloppier, if that's the best word for it. But like, it's just, everything's wet and bloody and spraying, and it's just a lot going on.
After this whole fucking bloodbath,
it's a female police officer that gets it next.
Yes. So Peter gets revealed. I didn't know if that was before or after. I couldn't remember.
Well, they do like a little quick interlude with like the red shoes again. So there's like a little quick flashback to the red shoes. But then the scotch drinking cop with the stupid glass comes in, and Peter is like over the body kind of thing.
Yeah, he's over the body of the female cop, because he thought it was Anne that he killed from behind.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. So and I really liked, I'm just going to call him Peter because his character's name. I really liked this scene, like the breakdown, like Peter's breakdown in this, just to see like a very calm, put together, civilized. I mean, I just really liked the actor in his performance. I just liked it was a quick scene, but the breakdown and just like the immediate switch.
Yeah,
I just really liked it.
He's kind of rendered like docile all of a sudden. Like he goes from like psycho killer to like he's cowering in the corner kind of thing.
It's really weird to like, I mean, it's so different. I mean, it's just a little like off-putting. It's like, are you good? Like, I mean,
and there's
obviously
fucking
not,
lightning
but it's just like
flashing. Like there's a lot going on.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just think it's a really beautiful, like, it's just, I just really like it. Everything about that, I really like. And then just like the dull white ceilings. I don't know. I really like it. It kind of makes me think of like padded walls.
Well, he gets a good maniacal laugh. Like he kind of goes.
Oh yeah.
He kind of goes like Norman Bates a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he kind of goes classic. He goes kind of classic crazy. You know, he's like sitting on the floor giggling and doing all the crazy person stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's revealed that Cristiano, the reporter, was the original killer. So he killed up until he was killed. Mm-hmm. And then it's revealed that Peter is the one who continued it.
Right.
And he gets overwhelmed by the memory of the lady with the red shoes. He goes insane. When the inspector arrives at the house, he kills her. And then the male FBI agent and Anne arrive at the house. He commits suicide. Well, suicide. I want that razor that squirts fake blood out of it.
The straight razor, yeah. This is the part that like you love to see in a movie like this because you're not expecting it, right? So you think they've got Peter, he's all curled up in the corner, he's doing all crazy business, you know, they figure out he's the killer, blah blah blah, or he has become the next iteration of the killer or whatever, and then he's just like stands up. He's like, I'm good. Like, give me some space. And he just pulls a straight razor out of his pocket and cuts his own throat. You're like, oh, good God.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing, bud? Like, just we're not expecting that.
And like the FBI agent was like, he just kind of like, God damn it. He's just kind of like, shit. Like, just like, oh, fuck. Like, they're just like, and then of course Anne's like upset because, you know, and Anne runs outside and, the FBI agent goes back in, and the reveal. So he goes in and Peter's nowhere to be found. And then there's just a shot of the FBI agent. And this shot is so good. I love it. The music behind it. Just I think because he looks at the straight razor and then he stands up and then, or like he does something and then you see Peter right behind him and it lines up right with him. And it's so good. And then the music cue, I just love it. It's so good.
Well, he like reaches down and so he comes in like they're out in the car. It's like him and Anne out in the car. He comes back in and is like touches the like the blood, picks up the straight razor and realizes that it's like a Pee Wee Herman joke shop fucking straight razor.
So funny.
This is such a bonkers, just fucking bonkers ending. And he's like, he literally plays it, and there's like a little red button that shoots blood out of the straight razor.
It's so funny. I'm like, damn, I kind of want that.
But it's just also funny for, and then the shot you see, he like bends down once again and Peter is perfectly lined up. And then like when he stands up, you can just see that like his ear is the only thing that you can kind of see like poking out. And then Peter, you know, Peter gives him classic Peter move, gives him the axe.
Mm-hmm. And I just really love the music cue. It's just, I love it. Like it gave me goosebumps. I just think it was really well done. I liked it a lot.
Peter, fucking the David Copperfield of murderers. You know what I mean? Right? He's just doing wild Penn and Teller shit in here to get out of. Well, and also for it to work. I mean, this is such a great Giallo ending where it's like, for him to have such a bonkers plan and for it to work essentially flawlessly.
Right. He got away with it for the most
because
part.
What cop, after somebody stands up and cuts their own throat, goes, let's go get in the car, leave the corpse in there, and comes back in. Like, it's just so bonkers.
Yeah, doesn't try to save his life or anything. Doesn't check his pulse.
Doesn't just call a fucking ambulance. It's just like, hey, he cut his throat, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad. It's raining. Let's go outside.
Yeah. Let's go back out to the car. It's gross in here.
I'm just looking back at my notes real quick. There was something that I did miss that I wanted to mention. I think it was the kill in. There was a kill where there was a woman. She was in a towel. There were titties. Titties were out. Boobs were out. It was a boob kill. But so that might help narrow it down. I don't know if it will though. But I believe it was but I believe the ending where the body ended up was a reference to the window kill in Suspiria. Because the way that she ended up, the window, it was like a glass, but the glass broke and her head ended up out. And so her head was back, her mouth was
It's basically
open.
like the poster. You're talking about the corpse that is like essentially the movie poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was earlier on. I don't remember exactly when.
That's the woman and her lover. Her lover is the one who gets thrown through the staircase glass rail, and then it just like she gets her throat cut, but then she gets thrown through the glass.
If, Suspiria Suspiria referenced that.
Oh, you mean the kill with the glass? I mean, that's an Argento thing, I think, too. He just likes He likes broken glass.
Yeah, he just likes defenestration.
And she was placed. It's just very.
Yeah. Yeah,
I could do like a side by side. It's just very, very similar.
Yeah. He loves to do the glass break kills, and it's like Fulci.
Just her facial expression was.
It's like Fulci with eye shit. Argento likes glass. Fulci likes eyeball shit. Yeah. So and we kind of jumped back a little bit, but and it's a little bit anticlimactic, but like the big climax here is obviously like Peter popping up behind the cop and axing him, and then what's her name? Jane. Everybody's
Anne.
Jane. Anne, Jesus Christ, Jane's in my movie. Anne pops up. Anne comes back in when cop guy doesn't come back, and then ultimately, not unlike the dog, which is just a happenstance situation, he gets ultimately killed accidentally by the weird piece of modern art that's in the fucking room.
Damn you, modern art.
Yeah,
it's just the reinforcement that the world is just trying to kill you as well. Like, yes, there's a bunch of murder happening, but also the world is trying to kill you, because if you go back to the beginning of the film, he and the airport porter who's carrying his luggage, they both almost get run over by a bus. There's a scene where he's in the car with Gianni, and they both almost get plowed into by a car crossing. So he's almost always getting killed by the world.
And there's like the time where like Anne, I think when the first time you meet the cop, maybe earlier in the movie, and she like runs out into the street and a car like narrowly avoids them and like runs up on the curb earlier too. Like they're almost always being killed by just the world. Yeah.
So, and then the dog is out there. So the world is trying to kill you.
There's fucking Resident Evil dogs.
Yeah. There's crazy perverts out there. There's just all kinds of awfulness. Nobody survives except for Anne. Again, a movie where no one survives.
The only thing that would have been better is like right after he dies. What the fuck? I already forgot his name. The writer. Right after he dies, Anne walks outside. And she's
Peter.
like, "Oh, Peter." Right after Peter dies, Anne walks outside and she's like, "Oh my god!" And then she's just struck by lightning and dies. Or like a fucking bird flies down and like snatches her eyeball out and she's dead, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ. Like that was the only thing that really just puts a bow on the on the situation. Yeah, that's my God. Yeah. That guy comes down, he's just like yum yum. And it's like that's the end of the fucking movie. Credits roll.
Or the dog comes back and drags her off like When Evil Lurks.
Oh, the dog. Yeah, the fucking dog's just like, I'm back, bitches.
The birds.
Yeah, the dogs just pop back. I think my take on this movie, it's so different than Blood and Black Lace. Like, you know, yes, they have the oversaturated colors, the overstylized thing, the dreamlike. Like they definitely have some of those Giallo, you know, tenets that we're expecting, but they're such wildly different movies in that Blood and Black Lace almost is like, I mean, it definitely strays into the more of the whodunit. Not that this one doesn't, but it's more of a classic whodunit. Like, here's a cast of characters. They all have motives. You know, so who it's a clue type situation, right? Whereas like Tenebrae, I think takes a little bit more of the 80s sensibility of like, let's go bonkers over the top. And it's like the exact opposite of, you know, the old, like, whatever the most likely outcome is what the case, you know, is what actually happens. It's the opposite. It's like, think of the most bonkers scenario and we're going to retrofit why it's right. You know, why that's actually what happened.
Right. And Argento builds that into his own fucking script, because he has the scene between, Peter and I believe it's between either Peter and the cop or Peter and John Saxon, and he explains it all the way with like they're talking about the Hounds of Baskerville with the Sherlock Holmes story. So he's like, "Hey, get prepared, everybody in the audience, because whatever you think the answer is, it's gonna be that."
And the thing that you think, the thing you think it can't be because of X, Y, and Z reasons, we're going to explain away all that logic and we're going to make it what we want it to be, no matter how unlikely it seems.
Yeah.
So for what it's worth, you know, it feels like an 80s Giallo.
Oh yeah.
You know, in like, that sense.
Yeah. And like the other side to that is like, we talked about how Blood and Black Lace, everything in that movie is so ornate and, you know, has that high fashion sensibility to it. When you look at this film, everything has a much more cold modernity to it.
Yeah, it's like yuppie. It's like a yuppie Giallo. It's like an 80s yuppie Giallo. Yeah. It's like the characters, the next door neighbors, like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the next door neighbors in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation they could have easily been characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Now it might be a couple years later, but you get what I mean. Like, it's just this like, sterile, like 80s, you know, yuppie-ish type of sensibility, as opposed to like the glamour and excess thing you get in the 60s, you know, Rome or wherever the hell the Blood and Black Lace is supposed to be set.
Yeah. And you see it in like Cristiano's house, the way like that's just like a modern glass cathedral. And you can also see it in the kind of the Plaza Square scene with John Saxon, because everything has like all the construction, like the bench he's on, kind of the car park that's in the background. All that architecture is just that flat, you know, kind of gray white, like solid piece.
Super angular. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's completely just completely opposed to like all the architecture that you get in Blood and Black Lace with all the archways and shit like that. So yeah. Yeah, definitely a very modern film.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on Tenebrae before we move on to our final film of the evening?
I think I said all my things. I think I'm good.
So that was Tenebrae from 1982. Follow us over on the social medias. It's at Halloween is Forever pretty much everywhere. Or if you want to support the show another way, you can go on your favorite podcatcher app and you can go in and write us a little bit of a review. Give us the maximum amount of stars. We will accept no less stars than that. Go on there, and then you write a little thing underneath. It goes, hey, these guys, and then shoot us a DM. I'll send you some fucking stickers in the mail. Go to patreon.com/Halloween is Forever. There's a lot of fun stuff over there. A couple different tiers. For those of you who don't know Sarah, let me summarize. Actress, right? Special effects artist, cosplayer, general horror nerd, dare I say, internet horror personality. Would that be fair to say as well?
Yeah, I have been known to be called that.
You have been referred to that on some occasions. Reanimated nerd on the Instagrams, on the social medias. For those of you who don't follow her, go check out. She always posts a lot of cool stuff and cosplays and fun stuff. You know, if you like the type of nonsense we put on the internet, you're certainly going to like what Sarah does.
Continued in part 3.